Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to into Bitcoin and XRP in one video today. I'm currently on holiday in Cornwall with my family. I'll be back soon to making regular videos. I'll just give you this little update. If you're looking for more content when I am away, obviously at Discord I post trade setups in there. We rode a beautiful long up on Chainlink the other day. It was amazing. Absolute dollar and a cent on that long as well. It was beautiful. It was around about 8% long. And right now we're currently in a short, which is playing out. So this is what I said to you, we ride the waves. We go long, we go short. We make money on a daily basis, riding into resistance, taking profit and going short of that as well. So currently in profit on Chainlink, on a long, beautiful pay self, and equally on a short right now. We're currently in profit on that. But what I'm looking at as well, obviously, there was a long position the other day, I think on Bitcoin that we rode as well. And equally above the 10 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, into that key leg of resistance, that minimal leg of resistance for XRP. That long has played out like a boss as well, So aside from my macro view, I do post trade setups every day. Try and do it in the videos if I can, if I get the time, and equally in the Discord, okay? And sometimes I'll drop them on Twitter as well. There's lots of altcoin setups that I've posted in there as well. I think there was one on GRT we're looking at. I think there's one on Velo. Is that the keyword? I think that's the ticker VELO. I've posted that in the Discord today. That's a whopper, that is, if that plays out. It's amazing. But again, I always show the invalidation. I see a lot of people, they post trade setups and stuff like that. I don't tell you where to, chuck your stop loss and things like that. And I always look for the minimal risk, sort of like 0.5%, 1%, whatever. I try and find these minimal risk trades for you. And with, this is what we do. We nail these. So anyway, we can make money on a daily basis, trading the ranges, trading these crypto markets. But remember, it's very volatile. And this is what you always do. You always set a stop loss just in case you go, away and it comes up and it comes down and things like that. And always TP as well, the technical targets is something else I've taught you. For example, Bitcoin right now is just broken out of an hourly ascending triangle and it's met the technical target. It was a beautiful trade. This is things that I try and teach you on the channel. But aside from that, what we've got here is this article that may be adding confluence to my theory that we're looking at a blow off top in 2024. Now, as you're aware, I've been keeping an eye on DXY, the S&P 500, Bitcoin, XRP, many other charts. The true top for me of a massive impulsive move was in April of 2021. Now, I've gone through this with you many times, and I think since then we've been in a corrective phase of a larger cycle, and I think this cycle is looking to end roughly next year. Okay, this is a theory I've had for a very long time. We're leading into it right now. Now, one thing to remember is, and I did post this on Twitter today, that the last time Bitcoin had a very positive September, i.e., we turned a positive month in the month of September, was in 2016. Now, that was the year before the last cycle blow off top. So in theory, if we're, applying respect to data, we should be saying, well, okay, the last time we had a blow off top was, the September that preceded that blow off top was positive. Ever since then, we've not had a positive September. Check the returns right there. This September that we've just gone through last month was the only positive return we've had since the previous cycle blow off top. So is it a little bit of a clue? Is it a little bit of a looking glass that in fact, the data is stacking up right now, that we are looking at a blow off top next year for Bitcoin? Like I said to you, if it does come, it would not surprise me. And there's so many other charts that are adding confluence to my theory that I've had for a very long time right now, that since April 2021, the crypto markets have actually been a corrective phase of a larger cycle, okay, which is looking to end next year. So one thing we've got here, US dollar collapse primes crypto for trillions to flood the system, triggering an epic Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and crypto price prediction. So there's an analyst here saying, the DXY, the dollar's collapsing and all of the money's going to flood into crypto, and we're getting these insane price predictions again. So I'm going to go through the charts with you. For those that have been with the channel for a very long time, they know I've been going on about this particular scenario for a very long time. I'm starting to see more analysts catch up to this particular scenario, but this is something we've had our eyes on for a very long time. This is why I didn't fall into the category of, the bear market, a traditional bear market, in the sense that Bitcoin was looking at 10K, because that would be your bear market projection, But right there, we've retained the structure of a beautiful, impulsive and corrective move since 2018 that I think Bitcoin's actually been in. Let me show you right now. So as you're fully aware, I've had this theory for a very long time. Now, this particular chart, the BTC USD chart, that's the ticker, the BTC USD Bitcoin all-time history index, spot crypto index from TradingView. Obviously, go to TradingView, drop this into your charts. That's a ticker right there, and you can look back as far as you can for Bitcoin right there. So what I think we've got is this massive ramp up. Then we had that huge bear market, another ramp up, then a huge bear market, another ramp up, and then we've had another bear market, and we've had this huge ramp up. We're inside of this cycle here. I think that this cycle is screaming for a final leg, basically. Okay, just like this cycle here. I think this first cycle, this big thrust after this huge thrust and this massive bear market just there for Bitcoin. I think that this cycle here is the same as this cycle, basically. And what we've got is just the fact that this cycle here is taking longer than that cycle. Okay, so I've gone through this many times with you before. But for those that are new to the channel, I've got a theory that's, the confluence is many other charts, but I've found a time theory right now that's kind of backing up my theory. So if we look at this, like I said to you, I think from peak to peak, it's just taking longer for Bitcoin to get to the cycle top, basically. And I think within this cycle here, this cycle from this bear market bottom in 2018 is same as this cycle here. Okay, so if you take a look at this, we had a clear, impulsive, beautiful, Elliott wave structure right here. We've got the 1, we've got the 2, we've got the 3, we've got the 4, and then we've got a blow off top 5. Okay, and I think in this cycle here, we've got exactly the same from this bear market bottom, just like that bear market bottom. We've come up. Okay, we had the 1, we had the 2, we had the 3, we've got the irregular 4, the bottom last year, and right now we're in the final 5th wave coming up. Okay, so why is it coming up? Is it going to come up at all? So is it going to get there? Is it going to roll over or whatever? But like I said to you, from this point here, what we wanted to see off this bottom was 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got exactly that. So I think we're pulling a 1, and right now possibly completed a 2, and Bitcoin right now is in the cusp of a 3rd wave, which is going to come up. Now this 3rd wave is usually the most powerful. It does usually break the resistance. For example, this 3rd wave here, it broke all the resistance at this high. You can clearly see that. This 3rd wave here broke the previous all-time high for Bitcoin as well. So the 3rd waves are usually very, very powerful with insider move, basically. So, the other day we did have a massive explosion in Bitcoin because of the fake spot ETF news right there. But what if it's not fake? What if something comes out right here, right now, that just sees Bitcoin go and lead into 2024, okay? Absolutely possible. And there's a series of spot ETFs and everything like that. It's absolutely possible. But, we've been looking at this in the charts for so long. It's almost like the charts are foretelling of this particular scenario. So like I said to you, off this bottom here, we want to see 5 waves coming up if we're expecting Bitcoin to look impulsive. We've got exactly that. So my theory right now that Bitcoin's been in a 1, it's had a 2, the bottom way back there in September, and right now you're in a cusp of a 3rd wave. So if we start to take out this resistance, I think everyone and a dog to be bullish on Bitcoin right there, and we could be in a 3, something like that, a vertical 4, and then a 5, you blow off top. Possibly that's that scenario right there. So if we look at this particular previous cycle right now for Bitcoin, you've got this sort of bottom, you're coming up like that, and you went vertical in the charts. Obviously, with inside of this, you've got subsets of waves as well. But the macro view here was the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, okay? The 3rd wave took out the previous local high. So I'm looking at this particular scenario right now that you've got this same cycle here as you did here for Bitcoin, okay? And this is why at this point here, I wasn't calling for a bear market where you're going to come all the way down to 3K, 10K or whatever, because my theory was that right now that we was in a massive bull market from this bottom. We've got a massive impulsive move here for Bitcoin. There's a 1, this is a 2, it's a regular 4, and this is your final 5th wave that's going to come up, okay? That's my theory. And the invalidation of such was losing this wave 1 high, where you can clearly see we never lost that wave 1 high. It's something I said to you the whole way down here to validate my theory of a final 5th wave coming up, of a blow off top of this cycle for Bitcoin. We have to hold this wave 1 high, okay? And this is something I've been relaying to you for a very, very long time, and you can clearly see we never lost that high, okay? What we did do is come down an ABC correction and met the 1618 like an absolute boss. So it's my opinion that the true top of the wave 3 right there was an A, a B, and a C. Now that particular correction and a regular correction met the 1618 like an absolute boss. Look at that, okay? So there's your B wave high, there's your A wave bottom, and boom. So you've had your A wave down, you thrust up, you bull trap, and then boom, you dropped on the 1618 like an absolute boss. Perfect ABC correction, come all the way down, and right now you're in a final 5th wave here for Bitcoin. So this theory is ringing true at the moment, but what I'm looking at right now is a theory that time, basically within this time here, we're looking at this particular cycle top being here, okay? So in this particular cycle I think is the same as this cycle, but this is more condensed, okay, and this is more drawn out because of time. But what we've got, if you take a look in this first cycle here, this big thrust up from this bear market bottom for Bitcoin, there's striking similarities in this cycle so far. You can clearly see we come up in the 1, the 2, the big 3 that met the 1618 like an absolute boss, came back for the correction, then met the 2.272 fib all the way up there for Bitcoin, okay? So in each and every single cycle, Bitcoin has always got to the 2.272 fib. So if we take a look at this cycle from the bear market bottom to the top, you can clearly see in the 1, the 2, the 3 has met the 1618 like a boss, and it's come back, and right now you're looking to get to 2.272. This is why I think Bitcoin is still in this cycle as a potential scenario to 200k within this cycle, okay? So if it gets there, it would not surprise me that Bitcoin from this point right here is going to go vertical to the 200k mark of this cycle, the 2.272 fib, because this is exactly where it gets to in every single cycle. If we go from this cycle here to the top, you can clearly see I had a bit of resistance on the 1618 and eventually got to a 2.272 fib. This is why for many years, from this bear market bottom all the way here when we start to come up, my projection has always been 200k, and I've always said to you, the road to 200k. So right now, I still think we are in this projection to 200k, providing we hold this low right here, and providing we hold this wave one high, we could still see Bitcoin get to 200k, because that's my projection right now, is roughly the 2.272 fib. We've tapped the 1618 just like we did in that cycle, come back, and this cycle come back. We're looking at this projection, providing Bitcoin can hold all this support going forward. So, is there any other confluence to this particular theory? Well, yes, there is. There's the ABCs that started on multiple charts, XRP, Chainlink, Cardano, multiple XRP and multiple charts started their ABC correction, of a larger cycle at April 2021. So I think we've got this massive blow up top for Bitcoin loading up to this level here. Possibility, absolutely not certain. Please remember that, if it starts to roll and loses the highs and loses the lower low structure right there, it starts to carve out downtrend structure, I'll alert you immediately. But right now, I'm looking at a scenario right now. We're looking at some kind of big, insane blow off top here for Bitcoin. Now, if this comes, this will not surprise me. So you can clearly see when you start to go vertical, towards the end of a big run up, the third wave there, the big pullback, oh no, it's going to zero, and then the big run up just there, the pullback just there, and the big run up. You can clearly see that Bitcoin can start to go vertical. So in this instance here, I think we could have some kind of catalyst for this particular scenario that's telling us in the charts that it's coming, and it's just uncanny how we've got this sort of alignment right now with the potential of a spot ETF approval. So if we get up there, it would not surprise me, because this is something I've been looking at for a very long time now. Going from this first cycle here, you can clearly see we took 128 days to get from this peak to that peak, then from this peak to that peak took 211 days. So what we've done right now, what I've done is basically work out the percentage increase from that time to that time, Now that gives us a projection of a percentage increase of 346 days for this cycle peak. So basically it took 128 days from this peak to that peak. Then it took 211 days from that peak to that peak. So the percentage increase was around about 64%. So I've had 64% to that particular level there, 211, and it gives a projection of peak to peak. If we're removing the percentage increase over time, it gives a projection to next year for 346 bars for this particular peak cycle top. Now if this plays out, absolutely nailed it. But at this point here, I will exit all markets, I would absolutely, if Bitcoin is up there at 200k, by July next year, I'm selling absolutely everything and exit all markets, because I think we've got a massive bear market that will follow basically, and what we've got is a huge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your massive run, and then we'll enter a large ABC correction, which is a projection I've been looking at for a very long time, for Bitcoin basically, and obviously the altcoins and things like that will go with that. Now what we've got is confluence, the fact that we've got the DXY rolling and we've got the S&P 500 starting to pop basically. So I'm looking at a big blow off top for S&P 500 into next year, and I'm looking at a big blow off top for Bitcoin as well. And this is something I've been drumming on about for a very long time, and we're putting in a legwork right now. So off this first impulsive move here, we've got a clear 5 waves. So in theory, what we've got is a 1, that's been a 2, and right now we're actually in a 3. So for this to ring true in the short term, we have to see Bitcoin hold that wave 2 low, and it will come up, something like that. So we could have a spot ETF approval relatively soon for Bitcoin if we are indeed in this third wave, because it's the most powerfulest wave going forward. Now I would not take this off the table. It doesn't make me a moontard, bulltard, or whatever. This is the projection I've been looking at for a very long time. Within this box right now, we have got a massive cycle for Bitcoin that tops next year, and there's so much confluence to this particular scenario. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize, but to do that, obviously, what we want to see for Bitcoin is some kind of crabbing like this, where it comes up like this, or even goes the other way and just rolls into that time frame, and doesn't do anything. But if it does start to come up right now and starts to go vertical, like I said to you, it would not surprise me, because this is Bitcoin. This is what it does. We went vertical there, came back in a correction, went vertical there, come back in a correction. Right now, we're on the cusp of going vertical here for Bitcoin. And obviously, if this will be invalidated right now if we lose this low that we put in September. Adding confluence to this particular theory is the fact that September of this year has been positive for Bitcoin. Now, the last September that we had that was positive was all the way back down here. Let me show you right now. July. 2016 basically. It was the last positive month. Where are we? 2016. So just around about here, we actually put in a positive month for September before that big vertical for Bitcoin, and we've just literally done it. We've actually had a positive month for September, and it's been the first time since this point right here in the charts. So clearly we could be at exactly the same point right now before this huge vertical. Would it surprise me? Absolutely not. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the updates. I am on holiday at the moment. I'll get back as soon as I can. But, I always show you the invalidation of this theory. And right now, the invalidation is that September the 11th low that we put in last month. If we start to roll down to that level, anytime soon and take it out, then this theory in the short term is off the out the window basically, and off the table. But if it does do this is just something I've been looking at for a very long time, and it would absolutely not surprise me. And a lot of people here have been shaken out by this big correction that Bitcoin's been in, just like they were shaken out by this correction that we're in as well. So I hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I always show the invalidation of this particular theory, and so far so good. It's reacting positively. There's stacks of confluence that's actually point to this theory playing out right now. Thank you for your support. Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.